Thomas DeLauer is cooler than a cucumber. He's a health and fitness expert that doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. Thomas is a shredded dude in a tight t-shirt sharing fitness and nutrition information on his popular YouTube channel. From fasting hacks to hormone facts, Thomas is basically the professor you wish you had in high school with a six-pack. No, not that kind of six-pack. Actually, today's video is all about the things that Thomas got right as far as things that can help contribute to a great body composition, more muscle mass, less fat, and overall more health. And we're going to start with alcohol. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Lillie. I'm a certified nutrition health coach, and on this channel, I try to help you have a healthier and happier life. So if you want to be healthier and have more joy, then you kind of got two options. Option one, relying on your memory to come back around and get your daily dose of Lillie, or option two, don't be silly, just subscribe to Lillie. Now, Thomas says if you want to get shredded and not have a pot belly, okay, and not have visceral fat, then the number one thing to work on is
don't drink as much alcohol, or try to cut it out entirely, and especially cut out beer. Alcohol contributes to visceral fat in the first place. We've seen evidence there. Beer is a double whammy because then you also have the estrogen-sensitive tissues.
This is something I couldn't agree with more because personally, when I cut out alcohol, I lost weight immediately. I was still having Subway sandwiches. I was still eating chips and pretzels. I was still having dessert. But as soon as I cut out the alcohol, I lost weight immediately.
This can make a profound difference on your liver health and ultimately your waistline, your insulin resistance, your mental health, and your overall long-term just longevity and metabolic health. Not to mention, you'll lose weight and you'll have more energy.
When I cut out alcohol, yes, I was still eating some processed junk foods, but I ended up eating less processed junk foods because anytime I would get a little bit buzzed, I'd want pizza or Taco Bell, which honestly, just saying the word Taco Bell makes me want to go and run to the bathroom. Now, I know for those who regularly drink alcohol, it's way easier said than done for me to be like, hey, just cut it out. And so some of Thomas's recommendations for limiting alcohol include,
it's always easier, as far as the brain is concerned, to switch out a habit with something else. There's nothing wrong with that. You do not have to go cold turkey. If you like alcohol and you have an alcoholic beverage, swap it out for something else that tastes good, even if it has some sugar in it. I would rather you jump out of the alcoholic pot and into the sugar kettle for a short amount of time.
If someone currently has 3 or 4 drinks when they go out on the town, then I would challenge myself to just have 2 and get in the habit of 2. I actually had a one-on-one coaching client. Yes, I do offer one-on-one coaching. There's a link in the description, but I had a one-on-one coaching client who was like, Lillie, I want to lose weight, but I'm not giving up beer. And I was like, okay. She was having 3 or 4 beers a night. I said, listen, I just need you to have a little bit less. And so slowly she worked her way to only having 1 beer a night. It made her happy and she lost 25 pounds. So we don't have to be perfect, but if we can have less is best.
Another thing that I recommend is whenever you're craving something like an alcoholic beverage, if you have something salty, it does tend to help.
I have the perfect solution. If we are going to switch the habit of drinking alcohol for another drink, and if we're going to have something salty, meet Element Electrolytes, who is today's video sponsor. Both Thomas DeLauer and I love Element because it's a drink mix packet that you can throw inside of your water or other beverages, and it adds the perfect combination of salty and sweet. These electrolytes come in a bunch of different flavors, from watermelon, citrus, raspberry, chocolate salts, and these electrolytes don't have any high fructose corn syrup, no artificial food dyes or colors, and they're just a really clean ingredient product for electrolytes that come with the minerals sodium, magnesium, potassium that we need to help us stay hydrated, to mitigate headaches, eye twitching, muscle cramping, fatigue, low energy. Electrolytes are so important for our nerve function and heart health. And if you'd like to check out Element, you can use the link in the video description to get 8 free additional packets of all of Element's different flavors with any order, or you can get those 8 free packets by going to the URL drinkelement.com/Lillie Kane.
Moving on to the next thing that has changed Thomas and I's body composition and health is
Walking. It's what we do. We walk. We don't go drink. We don't go party. We walk.
Again, most of you know the importance of walking, but realistically, how do we get more steps in? Firstly, I need you to commit to 5 minutes a day. Because if I can convince you to do 5 minutes a day, I know you'll do 10.
Whether you're talking on the phone, walking around the house, marching in place when watching TV commercials, brushing your teeth and pacing in the bathroom,
Or parking a little bit further from the grocery store.
regardless, I know you have 5 minutes in the day. So the main thing to get done is set an alarm on your phone for what time you're going to take that walk. Think right now, what time are we going to take that walk? First thing when we wake up in the morning, or after breakfast, or during our lunch break at work, or after dinner? What time are we taking that walk, rain or shine?
If it's sunny outside, then there's no excuses.
If it's rainy outside, then use an umbrella. If there's snow on the ground, then grab some boots and a coat and you are set. And probably some pants too. But whatever time that alarm goes off on your phone, then it's walking time.
Now walk it out. 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 Now walk it out.
Moving on to the next topic, something that both Thomas and I preach about being one of the biggest contributors to not just our physique, but our overall health is
I prioritize protein, plain and simple. I prioritize protein, and I have for years.
wait. I know a lot of people know they should be having more protein, and yet they don't do it. And even for me at one point, I was eating very little protein. And when I learned that I should double, triple, even quadruple how much protein I was eating, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm gonna be able to eat all of this. But eventually I figured out the strategy to increase protein without it seeming overwhelming. First thing I did is I picked one meal, okay? Don't even worry about any of the other meals. Just pick one meal and add 1 egg. Now, some of you are like, Lillie, I already have 2 eggs at breakfast already. And I'm saying, okay, have 3 eggs at breakfast now. Other people, maybe they're like, I don't eat breakfast. That's fine. Add an egg to lunch. Other people, maybe they're like, I don't have time to make eggs. All good, okay? We're gonna make a dozen eggs hard boiled one day of the week and then have that additional egg ready to go and pre-made. Or I just was at Kohl's last night and they had this little egg cooking contraption. So there's different ways to make eggs quickly. No excuses around here. If someone doesn't like eggs or if they're allergic, then that's okay. I would then add 1 protein shake to my day, or add 1 string cheese to my meal, or a can of sardines, okay, yum yum, or add in a little bit of Greek yogurt, or add in some sausage. Either way, just add a little something to one of your meals and be consistent with that for 2 weeks. And I do have a free protein cheat sheet that you can download and have. It'll tell you exactly how much protein is in different foods and how much protein to be shooting for. So if you'd like that, I'll send you an email with it on Saturday. You can just click the link in the video description to get that free protein cheat sheet. So back when I was having a small amount of protein, I didn't go from eating this tiny amount of protein to a ton of protein overnight. Instead, I started with what I was typically eating and then just added a little bit more protein to one of my meals, and I stayed consistent with this for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I added more protein to my plate and I stayed consistent with this for another 2 weeks. And I just kept adding on and repeating this habit over time.
If you can just prioritize the protein to being 50% of your calories, so much just comes naturally.
The other thing I appreciate about Thomas's content is his emphasis on building muscle. Oh, it looks pretty deflated today. Okay.
If you don't use it, you lose it. The number 1 stimulus for maintaining muscle is resistance training. And the number 2 stimulus is protein.
Now, the easiest way to start resistance training is starting with bodyweight exercises at home. For example, things like wall sits, push-ups, crunches, lunges, and squats. Eventually, later down the line, once you've been consistent with doing bodyweight exercises at home, then I'd graduate to resistance bands, which are very affordable. They add a little bit more load to the movement to build more strength while also being low impact, and they're great for beginners. If resistance bands are too easy, then I would graduate to buying a kettlebell or dumbbells or just going to the gym. With all three options, doing body weight, resistance bands, or with dumbbells, I would start by doing 10 to 15 minutes of exercises 2 times a week. Everyone thinks I gotta go for like an hour to the gym, which is nice, but I would rather start small and get consistent with doing something, you know, realistic. Just 10 to 15 minutes 2 times a week. That's it, okay? And if you need help creating a workout plan, you can ask my coach Lillie AI to create you a workout plan or a meal plan, and you can use my coach Lillie AI for free for 7 days without even having to put a credit card down. Coach Lillie AI is the clone of me put into artificial intelligence, where now any question that you would ask me, you can have 24/7 unlimited texting with my coach Lillie AI and receive an answer in a matter of seconds. Meal plans, workout plans, body scans, take advantage of it for 7 days for free using the link in the description. Now, the last thing I want to applaud Thomas for, and actually it's one of the things that I value most about him, is his ability to grow, because he started his YouTube channel preaching a strict keto diet and lots of fasting. But over the years, his approach evolved, and while he got a lot of flack for his shift, I value that he didn't double down just to save face and protect his brand. Instead, he stayed open, honest, he stayed human, and that takes a lot of courage, because whether it's diet, politics, religion, parenting styles, or anything else, often a lot of people cling on to their opinions as the best belief, even when new information comes out. Often growth comes from letting go. And not letting go of our values, but letting go of the need to always be right. So my invitation to you is this: have more love in your hearts. Not just for other people, but for yourself. Enough love to allow yourself to evolve. Enough love to admit when something no longer serves you. Enough love to allow truth to matter more than pride. Because the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be real, to be open, and to grow.